When you're ready to animate your character, you have to start thinking about the logical hierarchy, or how parts of the body or parts of whatever inanimate object you're building relate to one another. And this is important so that your character will animate properly. Now, as you see here, I have my gunslinger character, and I've already set up the hierarchy. And don't worry, I'm going to go over this in the project later on where we actually animate this guy. But I want to show you how you should think about the structure. So what I've also done is I've created this file here to show you in a little easier to follow fashion. Now let's go ahead and start with this part here, the character. Well, the character is the name of your character. So if you have the gunslinger, it says gunslinger. And as you see in parentheses, it says that all the parts listed below are going to be attached to the main character. I'm going to go back to Toom Boom Studio and show you here. This is the gunslinger. And everything is attached to this peg here that I would eventually create when I finish my hierarchy here. So as you see, I have the chest, I have all these body parts, which when I'm done, I'll actually grab and parent right here to the gunslinger, so that this guy would be in charge of everything else here. So when I move the gunslinger, everything else would follow suit. Let's go back to this window here. So I have attached to the character itself, I have the chest, which is going to be the major thing that's going to be attached to the character. So I have the chest, and attached to the chest is the left arm, the left forearm, the left hand, and any prop that you might have. In the case of this character, I'll have like a gun attached to the hand. Now, what does this mean? Alright, well, if I rotate the left arm, the left forearm, the left hand, and the prop would follow. And I'll go ahead and quickly demonstrate that for you. And I'm going to click on his right arm peg here. And I'll go ahead and grab the rotational tool and watch what happens. When I rotate it, see that? Everything follows that peg. And I can do the same thing for the left arm peg. So I'll grab that peg, and when I rotate this peg, everything that's attached to that peg follows suit. So the right arm, the right forearm, the hand, and the gun would all follow whatever happens to the peg that's its parent. Now, whenever you see something that's indented, that means that it's a child of whatever is the parent. So the left arm is a child of the chest. The left forearm is a child of the left arm. And if you ever have things that are lined up in a row like this, they are not parent and child, they're siblings. So the eyes, the hair, and the mouth, and the prop, if you have the hat separate, would all be related and be the child or the children of the head. So once again, I'm going to cover all this in depth, but I just want to show you what it looks like in Toom Boom Studio. So I'm going to go back to Toom Boom and show you here. We have the head peg, and the head is attached to the head peg. Okay, and the head is indented under the chest. We also have the right arm, and the right arm, once again, would be indented under the chest. So I'm currently building this hierarchy just to show you what it will look like once we're done. And of course, we're going to tweak it some more because everything is not exactly where it should be just yet. And that's another thing that I want to talk to you about. Let's go back to my little list here. When you're building a hierarchy, it's pretty much an experiment every single time. So look down here. It says A, determine the hierarchy, which means put things where you think they should belong in a logical fashion. Look at your own body, for example. Well, your shoulder is attached to your chest. Your forearm is attached to your arm. And your hand is attached to that. So try to follow that same kind of hierarchy. After you do that, then set your pivot points. After that, then you want to test and animate to make sure everything's working. And that's the important thing. Your hierarchy is not really done until everything is working the way you want to, which is another reason I want to show you that this hierarchy is not completely done yet, because we're going to tweak it and we're going to work it so it's perfect in our upcoming project. So just take some time, and if you need to practice, look around in your environment. Look at cars. Look at everything that has things attached to it and determine what is the master peg element, and what's attached to that, and what's attached to that. What are the parents and what are the children's to establish hierarchies.